Matt is more high maintenance than Abby.
Agree.
No, I mean,
Wait, I want to know, are you being honest with yourself? Abby starts more arguments.
I'm gonna have to agree with that one.
Okay, fine. I feel like I'm just more observant of things.
I think that's a great way to put it. You're more observant. What did you say to me the other day? I wanted to do unspeakable things.
And I said, at least take me out to dinner
first.
I've talked to other wives about this. When you're married, the way that you just kind of have to get used to getting groped.
Welcome back to Unplanned. Today we will be playing Agree to Disagree. We've played this game on our YouTube channel before, but I think this is our first time.
It's been a while.
It's been a really long
time ago.
So we're throwing it back. If you've been here since the beginning, you're probably like, wow, thanks for throwing it back, Matt and Abby. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Can we talk about the fact that you literally twerked at our kids' Easter egg hunt?
Someone's husband was doing a happy time dance for their spouse.
No, I don't.
And she secretly recorded him, and it was super embarrassing. We were all laughing at him, and then
she showed the video.
And then I decided I needed to show off my twerking skills.
No,
so.
I was like, well, Matt can actually twerk. And then we're like, let's see it. And then you just did it. And I was like, I love that you're always down.
Putting that decade of dance
Even though
experience
we were
to work.
An Easter egg hunt for 2-year-olds, you know, it just seemed like the right time. I mean, where else are you gonna do that when you're a parent?
How do you feel about the fact that I've been taking over your group fitness class? I've been one of the only husbands to come like every single time now.
It's fun having you.
You like having me there?
Yeah, it's really fun. Well, okay.
Does it feel like I'm
You've
intruding
only
on your
gone
me
for a week
time?
and a half. I told someone, I'm just like, no offense to you, but I'm just waiting for him to fall off the workout.
We'll see how long that lasts. I just don't want to.
Are you sore?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yesterday, you saw this. I was sprawled out in front of our bed. I couldn't get off the floor.
I put on my story.
I was so tired. I was exhausted.
No, Matt, first of all, does not hide at all. Actually, the instructor, Mac, she DM'd me after that, and she's like, I knew during that class that he was going to be down bad after this. Like, your face doesn't hide at all. When you're in pain, you're doing those stability ball circles, your face in there, you're like,
you know what it was?
you look like you're going to throw up.
There was, I don't know if she's a mom or who this woman is, but she was freaking jacked and she was sending it, and I was working out next to her, and I was like, well, I gotta at least do what she's doing, and she's ripped.
You don't have to do the same thing that she's doing.
I had to. I'm a competitor. I'm very competitive.
Does it feel like your masculinity is in question if that's the case?
Let's not talk about that. But anyway, I was like, I need to at least be doing the weight that she's doing, and I was shaking.
You were struggling. And then when I came up into the bedroom, literally like 3 hours later, he sprawled out.
She was
sprawled out, wasn't moving. And then I showered, he still hadn't moved.
At Burn, you don't take breaks, people.
That's the thing about Burn. You do so many reps for such a long time.
Yep,
you gotta really work up to it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And I'm proud of us.
I feel like you are actually already seeing results, which is really frustrating.
I am. My abs are starting to show through, and I'm just trying to stay good looking for you for the long haul, because we've already been together almost 9 years. We're going to celebrate 9 years being together.
Wait, what's our dating anniversary? It was like
the 23rd.
June 23rd.
June 23rd.
Okay, 9 years on June 23rd.
Yeah, so that's coming up if you want to mark your calendars. And I think we got to play a little bit of Agree to Disagree. So our first question, we have 3 different levels.
This is just a game.
This is just for fun. All right, no one take this too seriously.
Thank you to Mixtiles for sponsoring this portion of today's episode. If you come to our house, all the walls in our house are covered in Mixtiles gallery walls. And the reason I am such a fan of them is because there is not an easier way to transform your space completely. They just make your house feel so much more homey, personalized, inviting, and they are so user-friendly. It's literally effortless to just upload photos directly from your phone and then customize them to exactly what you're looking for. You can change the frames out, order them, they're shipped right to your door.
And the best part is if your spouse is someone that likes to just throw up the picture on the wall and ends up being crooked, look no further than Mixtiles, because it's so easy to adjust it, to tweak it.
That's because they use a special magnetic mounting system. You literally just peel off the sticker backing, stick it to your wall. So that's why you can like freely adjust them. You can even swap them out. You can take them down, or if you're moving or you're just renting and you don't want to cause any damage to the walls, just peel the sticker right back off and it doesn't leave any damage to your walls. And I've recommended them to all my friends, my family. Everyone's got Mixtiles over here.
We've even gotten them as gifts for people.
Mother's Day, come on, moms love pictures of their kids in their house. They have hundreds of styles, colors, and size combinations. They have everything from sleek modern options to classic and timeless. There's got to be a perfect match for every single one of you, every single style and home. So turn your favorite memories into a stunning, affordable wall art. For a limited time, our listeners get 35% off on all orders above $139. Just head to Mixtiles.com and use code UNPLANNED, and you're all set. That's code UNPLANNED at Mixtiles.com. And after you buy, do us a favor. When they ask you where you heard about Mixtiles, just tell them it was from our show.
We have 3 levels. The first question of level 1 is, you got married too young. Abby, do you agree or disagree?
That's level 1?
Yes, level 1.
I disagree.
I would also disagree. Why do you disagree with that?
I think it's a case-by-case basis. Like, I think if you were to say everyone should get married at 20, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I strongly disagree with that.
Wow.
But clearly we were meant to be together. Like,
yeah,
so
you're my best friend.
I don't think there was anything to be gained by, like, waiting to make that official. Like, we were already, like, prioritizing each other as, like, a couple at that point, and, like, we'd been together for 3 years. We had pre-marriage counseling. We had a really sturdy group of friends around us and, like, community. We had mentors. We read a lot of books. We were financially stable.
How dope is that we did premarital counseling? Because when we were just with your grandma like a couple weeks ago,
counseling.
we had pre-engagement counseling, which is the norm now, I think, and should totally be the norm. But when we were talking to your grandma, she was like, oh, counseling. Like, it just that culture you hear about older people, they hear the word therapy or counseling and they about poop their pants. Like, it's just a very scary thing. But I love that us Gen Zers, I think we're technically Gen Z, are embracing the fact that we don't all have it together. And
I think the stigma around counseling is like changing, and that's good. I think we're still making progress, you know. But yeah, I feel like we were in a community where that was like encouraged and praised, and it wasn't like no one was making you feel like, oh, maybe they're struggling with something. Like, because the fact is that you have a lot to learn, and you got to learn it really fast when you get married. And so it's good to like prepare yourself and to be, you know, forward thinking. So that's why I disagree with that, because I'm like, we literally worked on ourselves a lot. Worked on ourselves as a unit. I think that there was a lot of wisdom in making that decision. And I think that our age was just the age that we were.
I have my hand up because I have a question for you.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that we are more attractive now than we were when we got married at 20 and 21?
Depends on what you're looking at.
I feel like we are both more attractive.
Okay.
This is the next agree to disagree question. Matt is more high maintenance than Abby.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
No.
Agree.
No, I mean,
wait,
disagree.
The last one we disagreed, but we agreed in disagreeing. This one you're saying you disagree.
I feel like I'm a go with the flow type of guy. I think I'm a go with the flower. I think
wait, I want to know, are you being honest with yourself?
I'm being honest. The only thing that I am high maintenance on is specific cheeses. Like, if you're going to put Parmesan on my pasta, get the freak out of here. If you're going to try to feed milk chocolate down my throat, get that out of my face. Like, there's some weird food things that I can be a little high maintenance on. But even then, I feel like I'm not a picky eater. You know?
Give me an example of something that I am more like high maintenance about. I'm not like totally disagreeing with you, but
honestly,
like,
we're both not high maintenance though.
Okay,
like,
thank
we both
you.
Really
I was
aren't.
like, sheesh.
So I think this question, whoever put this in here, I don't know what they were thinking, because I don't think we're really high maintenance people, do you?
No, but the question is, who's more high maintenance?
But it's just like we're both so little high maintenance. I think for you, maybe like in my head, since I can't really chew food around you, that makes me think of you being maybe a little bit more high maintenance than me. And that is
I make accommodations for your ADHD. You need to make accommodations for my misophonia.
What do I do?
That's not actually been diagnosed.
What am I supposed to do with your misophonia? Do I just go eat food in a separate area? You need to be more aware
of the chomping.
But when I have my mouth closed.
With the chips that you just ate, it was like, and it was like every time you bit into it, I was like, they're not that crunchy.
I think the way I need to eat chips going forward is like open my mouth, insert the chip, close the lid, lips closed, and then start chewing. Which I think I actually did that. I think I started to bite.
Especially if I'm not eating, just don't get close to me. Like, I can block it out more if I'm also eating.
Yeah.
But yeah. What were we talking about? High maintenance? I don't think either of us, I'm not saying you're like particularly high maintenance, but I think you're more high maintenance.
All right.
Like, I could be completely content with like a really stripped back lifestyle. Like, no like big, like, let's go travel the U.S. in a van and see every state in a year. Like,
but that's kind of like a hippie, that's almost, what's it called? Like a hippie lifestyle,
I'm
right?
much more content with like a simple, basic life.
But you like to have luxury, like you like that we live next to stores that you can go shopping to. Like when we lived in Hawaii, I was chill just being in my swim trunks and flip flops all day.
No, I'm glad we're near a Costco. Does
Yeah,
that make me high maintenance?
and that might make you a little bit high maintenance.
Oh my!
That now that we're within 12
I want to
minutes of a
ask
Costco.
everyone in our family this question and see what they say.
Let's do it. I think it's
What
great.
do you think they're gonna say?
I don't know, babe.
Let's text them.
All right, go ahead and text them. All right,
and your
next
family
question.
or my family?
Totally up to you. You can text whoever you want. Next question. It's okay to go to bed angry sometimes.
Yeah, I think so.
You do?
Yeah.
I feel like you've changed your mind on that one.
Yeah. Therapy. No, I just think sometimes like you got to think about your basic needs, and that's rest, food,
Yep.
low stress. You got to think about all the factors that can make you already feel more reactive. And at night, a lot of those are high or can
Yeah.
be high.
Yeah.
And so it's not a good time to like approach a touchy subject. So if you just feel it brewing, just like, now I'm not saying just like walk your separate ways and be mad and just be over with it. It's like put a button in it and say like, hey, I'm sorry you're feeling angry. Let's talk tomorrow at noon about this.
What are your thoughts on this idea that celebrating anniversaries is overrated?
No.
3, 2, 1. Strongly disagree. Every year we take a trip for our anniversary.
You don't have to do that, but you gotta celebrate that. You gotta
Oh.
talk about it. You gotta talk about the highs and lows of the
Yes.
year, things you want to do differently next year, what new goals you have, because that's how you keep it fresh.
Exactly.
Here's the thing: I like to celebrate literally anything.
Yeah.
I just wanna have a fun time and have everyone together.
Yeah, you're a celebratory gal.
I am.
There's no such thing as too much PDA.
Ooh, yeah, there it is. It's actually illegal.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. Yeah, and I say that as somebody that used to do a lot of PDA with you.
You don't do PDA as much anymore?
We used to be all over each other. Like
I feel like we still-
in our dating, like when we were dating, we were like glued at the hip. Like we were a little too touchy, honestly.
Okay.
But I still am pretty like.
I feel like when we're around other couples, we're always the most PDA of all the couples.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'll sit on my lap.
See, for me, that isn't even PDA.
I don't
But
think
I
I
get
ever
how it
saw.
is, obviously.
I never saw my parents sit on each other's laps. Maybe
I
they
saw
hate
that
each
a
other.
lot. They do not. I want to see if your family has responded to the high maintenance thing.
Too much PDA though. Like I can see where it can be a little weird. It's like, hey, can you tone it down a bit? Can you not like make out in front of me?
Wait, when? What's your example? I always think about Six Flags. I just feel like there's always people doing things that are just not appropriate.
Yeah, you see some
at Six
interesting
Flags.
people. You know, you go to Six Flags and you go to Disney World, and there's a completely different demographic at those parks.
Well, yeah.
Maybe the moral of the story with this PDA
Yeah,
thing
it's illegal
is
to
don't go
do
to
too much
don't go
PDA.
to Six Flags.
Don't go to Six. Honestly, I wouldn't anymore. Six Flags was so much fun as a kid, but I don't know if I'm feeling good about it anymore.
It was like the middle school hangout zone. Like Six Flags and the mall were the two spots when I was growing up.
And that's why they're terrifying as adults, honestly.
You see some crazy middle schoolers at those places.
Just in like Superman capes.
Oh gosh, don't even bring that up. The next one is Abby is more carefree than Matt.
I don't really have an answer. I don't feel here nor there about that because I feel like we both have certain things that we worry more about.
Yeah.
Like I can think of certain things I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not carefree in that area, whereas Matt's more like easygoing. But then likewise for you. I guess I'll give it to you in general, I'll say you're more carefree.
I like to live life by the seam of my pants. That's the saying, right?
Nope.
The seam of my.
No.
What is it? The seat of my pants.
Yeah.
What does that even
We
mean?
need to do a whole episode on phrases that Matt gets wrong. Words that you mispronounce.
Live life by the seat of my pants.
I like to go by the seat of my
I like
pants.
to go by the seat of my pants. What does that mean? It's like whatever I'm sitting on, that's what I'm going to do. Is that where it comes from?
I don't know where it comes from.
Life by the seat of my pants.
No.
That's so weird.
Not life by the seat of my pants. Go by the seat of my pants.
Where did that come from? We're looking this up. Where did that come from? I've got to know what this is.
Live by the. It's not live by the seat of my pants. It's go
Okay.
by the seat of my pants.
Life by the seat of my pants. Back in the 1930s, before planes were equipped with advanced instruments, pilots, especially test pilots, had to rely.
Flying by the seat of your pants. That's what it's called.
Oh, pilots had to rely heavily on instinct, experience, and feel rather than data. They literally flew by the seat of their pants, meaning they judged the aircraft's movement and performance by the sensations they felt through the seat.
You're kidding.
Over time, the phrase evolved to mean doing something without a plan, relying on instinct or improvisation. That is 100% me, actually. That is literally how I've always lived my life.
Nuh-uh. You're
Yes.
very logical. You don't go by your instinct. You're very, very logical.
But
I'm more instinct. I'm like, that just doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel good. You're so realistic and logical, Matt. This isn't a dig, but you're not really,
Okay,
you're
that's
not
fine.
even
I'm not
aware
offended
of
at
your
all.
own instincts.
I'm not offended. You know me better than me, so I'll give you that.
I'm right.
You're right, and I'm wrong.
You don't even know your own instincts.
I don't know. You know me better than me. Let's just say, yeah. Okay.
No one in our family is giving me an answer. Your dad just laughed at it.
Next one
So I think
is...
that means he thinks I'm more high maintenance.
Okay, all right. Thank you to Zocdoc for sponsoring this portion of our episode. Have you ever wanted to have a doctor's appointment from the comfort of your own home? In 2025, if we can't do things virtually, what are we doing, people? You know, I'm trying to be funny right now, and it's really not working. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental, primary care to urgent care, and more. And actually, using Zocdoc is how I was diagnosed with ADHD. I've said that like a bazillion times. If you didn't know that already.
ADHD?
You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, who are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and who are highly rated by verified patients. Plus, Zocdoc appointments happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking, so you can even score same-day appointments. I use Zocdoc, and you should too, so stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to Zocdoc.com/unplanned to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/unplanned, Zocdoc.com/unplanned. It's okay to keep a secret from your spouse as long as it's for a good reason. I'm
Okay.
going to say 3, 2, 1.
Disagree.
Strongly disagree. You said disagree, not strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree. Well, I mean, like, the fact that it's for a good reason makes me not strongly. I'm like, okay, well, they had good intentions,
Yeah.
supposedly. But, no, I feel like, here's the thing. You can not tell your spouse something, but it could be like an honest thing where it's like, I didn't even think of, I forgot to tell you, or
Yeah.
I didn't think about this, or I didn't think it was like as important as it was, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's different than keeping a secret is like an intentional, like, I'm withholding this information
Yeah,
from
like
them.
my parents are flying in to visit us tomorrow, and I've kept that a secret from you, but I probably should tell you, so I'm going to let you know.
They're not, are they?
I'm going to let you know that right now.
Are they?
Just kidding.
Oh, I'd be excited.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My grandma's flying in tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right. She
Oh, like
is.
be a big Easter party.
That'd have been a huge party.
Oh my gosh, that would have been really fun. Wow, way to get my hopes up.
Sorry, I was just going to see how you were going to react.
No, I think that's a given. Anything that you're like intentionally withholding means that. I mean, can you think about a lie that would be for a good reason, or a secret being held would be for a good reason? Oh, wait a minute. I can actually.
What?
Like if I was gonna throw you a surprise birthday party, I'm keeping that a secret.
Yeah, that's actually a really good example.
So there could be some good reasons.
Yeah, you cracked the code. You're too smart for this game, babe.
I know. I'm winning, right?
I think you're winning. I don't know if I don't think there's a winner in this game.
Well, any game
but
should
you
have
can,
a winner.
You can win it. Next one is you never have boring moments together.
Never have boring moments together.
I'm gonna disagree with that. I think we have quite a few boring moments. I think
Yeah.
life can be boring. I
Yeah.
think it's okay to be bored.
What's an example of a boring moment?
Just like sometimes you put the kids down for bed and it's time to like spend time with your spouse and you're just both tired. So then you just lay on the couch and read books together, and it's like kind of boring, but it's also kind of cute.
Yeah, I feel like as parents, there's not a lot of boring moments.
Yeah.
Until they go to bed, it can feel boring because you're like, man, I just operated at such a high level of like energy. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, wow, we can finally decompress. But like, I never think of it as boring. I think of it as restful. But yeah, I think on the outside, it would definitely be perceived as boring. So
Agreed.
agree.
It's important to be friends with your partner's friends. I would agree with that. I think it's good to be able to hang out. If you are doing your own separate things all the time from your partner and vice versa, then you probably aren't as interconnected as you could be. I mean, recently I've just become friends with all the husbands of Abby's friends. And so I'm kind of poaching her friends, I guess, but her friends' husbands, but it's worked out.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's a good strategy because
because we're all hanging out tonight. We're doing Survivor night tonight.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna,
like, if I like them and they're married to someone that's probably similar to them,
yep,
and you're similar to me,
yep,
then we're probably gonna be a good. Have we ever had couple friends that's like we only like one of them? Because I hear about that a lot, but I can't really think of.
I can think of an instance.
Oh yeah, yep. I can as well.
I can think of something.
The thing is that rarely happens.
Yeah,
so
it's rare.
I feel like the majority of the time. So yeah, I think it's important to be friends. I'm not friends with some of your friends though.
Really?
I feel like you have a couple single guy friends that I'm like, it'd be weird if I was close with.
Yeah, there's like one or two, but I also only hang out with them like every other month. So it's not like I'm not super close with those people.
Yeah, I think it's okay if your spouse isn't like super close with your friends, but I think it's like you should at least be familiar with them. It's a little weird otherwise.
What do you think about this? I know what my mother would say to this, but taking photos and videos of everything ruins the moment. 3, 2, 1, disagree.
No.
Is there something that happens where when you go back at your photos on your phone and you look at them, it just hits you with nostalgia so hard, and it hits you with all these sweet feelings?
No, but we're talking about the moment.
Oh yeah, the moment.
I think in the moment, maybe a little bit if you're thinking about like, oh, I have to curate this into something, but if you're just capturing it for what it is, then it's not really.
I think it can, but I think there's a way to record in the moment where it doesn't take away from the moment too.
How do you do that?
I like to live in the moment while recording. You know, I actually have a lot of fun making videos of cool things that we're doing. I think like half the fun is making the video, you know, especially when we go on trips.
Like you can do both and it's still like super fun.
Yeah. Our trip to New York that we took last year, I had so much fun on that trip, and I really enjoyed documenting it too.
Yeah. And that was so fun to watch back because I hadn't seen any of that footage, and it kind of just like brought me back to that time.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Saying I love you too much ruins its meaning. I'm going to say agree. I'm going to say agree. It doesn't hit as hard, you know? If you say I love you all the time, it doesn't hit as hard. To make what you're saying with those words really mean something, you have to get into detail about why you love them, and you have to almost like write like a love letter to your spouse about all the reasons that you love them. And I think that's like why those love notes really mean something on, you know, birthdays, holidays, because when you say I love you to somebody every day, it doesn't really mean anything after years and years and years, you know? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, you kind of convinced me of that answer. Because at first I was like, no. Then I was like, yeah. You're also a words of affirmation guy.
That's right.
So maybe you're coming from that perspective.
Would you like to do the honors and read us level 2?
Okay. Level 2.
We're leveling up, people.
Matt is the more jealous one.
I don't even think we're either. I
don't even know how to compare that. We're both like literally not jealous at all. I think it's because we've never.
What would we be jealous of?
No, like jealous if like a guy gives me attention. We don't really get attention from the other. We're not putting ourselves in those situations.
Yeah, and I think like if me or you ever got hit on, I think we would think it's just funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no jealousy at all.
Well, I think that's because we've never been cheated on or anything. We've literally only been together.
Yeah.
I feel like if I had been like, if someone had cheated on me, I would probably be a lot more sensitive to that.
Yeah.
Or if you were putting me in situations that made me feel jealous, like if you were going to the clubs with your single guy friends and like going out and drinking and partying with other girls and stuff, then I would feel jealous. But you've never put me in a position where I need to feel jealous.
Yep.
And likewise, I wouldn't do that for you.
And I've never felt that way about you. How awesome is that we both never got cheated on? Give me high fives.
That's not on us. That's whenever someone cheats, it's on the other person.
Yeah, but we're lucky to not have to.
No, yeah, we're so blessed. Yeah. That's the other thing where I'm like really glad we got married young, is that we were protected from a lot of realities of like the dating world now. I have talked to some single girlfriends I have about it, and they say it's rough. It's rough. And it's not something like, I think movies really romanticize like the dating game, and obviously there can be so much fun and joy in it, but it's over romanticized. All of that is like anything, but I feel really like thankful that our story is the way it is. But to summarize that, I feel like neither one of us is jealous literally even a little bit, so we can't even really answer that one. Couples should always have a joint bank account. I don't feel strongly about that.
Yeah, I'm going to say disagree. I don't know like if it has to be an always thing. I think it's probably a good idea, but if you have a pretty good reason to have separate bank accounts, I mean, you
could convince me of a reason that would make sense. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that big of a deal breaker.
I have friends that have joint or separate bank accounts.
Oh, here's a hot take. People that have like really strong like blanket opinions on certain things,
they fail to see the life in color.
That gives me the ick. Yeah, because it's like, yo, the world is so much more intricate than that. You know, it's such a basic thing to just. I
feel like those people just want something tangible, something to grip on, do.
It's like, this is the only way, you know? Yeah, I think when you can recognize that there are different ways of living life, it opens up the world in so many beautiful ways. I was trying to think of something cool to say and I couldn't do it.
That was very cool. Abby is the stricter parent.
I'm going to strongly disagree. You're the empathetic queen who's like, let's talk about your feelings, like all this. And then I'm the one that's like, hey guys, if you bit someone, you need to go to timeout. You can't just go play after you bite your brother. Like, we have rules for a reason, people.
Yeah, I will say, I feel like we're a united front when it comes to discipline with the kids. Like, I don't think our kids would be like, oh, if mom or if dad says no, they'll come to mom. Like, I don't think they'd ever think that. I think they know that we like agree that whatever you say goes and whatever I say goes.
And see, I'm going to completely disagree with that because whenever I say no to candy or chocolate, the boys go right to you.
You're kidding.
And vice versa. They always do that. They do the whole ask mom, ask dad thing.
I think that's totally age appropriate. Right now, they're trying to learn the dynamic of our family.
They're testing the waters.
They're testing us.
Yeah.
I can be tough on them.
I think you're a great mom.
They're also 1 and 2.
You're a great mom. They're little kids.
They're really, really,
they're
really,
great
really,
kids.
really great
They're
kids.
such good kids.
So I'm
very proud of them.
Me too. We haven't really had to enforce that too much.
You're right.
Abby starts more arguments.
I'm gonna have to agree with that one.
Okay, fine.
What?
I feel like I'm just more observant of things.
Yeah, you are. You are more observant. I think that's a great way to put it. You're more observant of everything, of literally everything.
Yeah.
I think you're smarter than me.
Maybe to a fault. I'm not smarter than you.
You're a genius. You are.
That's
you're
not
very
true.
intelligent.
Okay,
You have
I'll agree on that one.
You have such strong emotional intelligence, which I am so impressed by. I've never had that level.
What makes you say that?
You can read situations so well. You can read other people so well.
Thank you,
You
honey.
empathize to a level that I cannot comprehend with other stories and people's traumas. I mean, heck, for people listening to our podcast, there's been so many times where we've had guests come on here that are sharing gut-wrenching, awful stories, and you're just like bawling with them. You're like living in the moment with them, and I don't know why, but it's like for me to like get emotional, it has to like kind of hit me by surprise. It's always Pixar movies. It's always Up. It's always Coco.
Yeah, you need the music.
Yeah, the music. Oh, it just like hits me like a train. But for you, like you get to that level so easily with people, and I think that's really cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I would say I'm definitely start more arguments. I'm just more sensitive in general to things.
And that's okay.
And also, I want to fix things. Like if I'm like, oh, this is something that's like, I gotta fix it.
And then that's when I say, let's go to bed and figure this out tomorrow.
Yeah. You don't say let's figure out. You said let's go to bed.
I say let's go to bed. Let's schedule something on the calendar to schedule a time slot to talk about this on the calendar.
Thank you to Smalls for sponsoring this portion of today's episode. Our sweet brother and sister-in-law never anticipate having a cat. And I feel like that's a story of a lot of people that have cats. Sometimes a cat just comes to you. And one day I came over to their house and they're literally cooking up eggs for this cat that they never intended on having. And it was really, really sweet and precious. But I was like, you know what? We can save you some time here. And that's why we decided to gift her Smalls. Smalls cat food is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find literally right in your fridge.
It's delivered right to your door. Smalls was started back in 2017 by a couple of guys home cooking cat food in small batches for their friends. A few short years later, they served millions of meals to cats across the U.S. At this point, you might be wondering why
can't I just feed my cat kibble?
Believe it or not, your cute kitty descended from ferocious desert cats who hunted live prey for food. And your cat isn't any different. They still need fresh, protein-packed meals to be at their best.
If you want to treat your cat to some Smalls for a limited time only because you are an Unplanned listener, you can get 35% off Smalls plus an additional 50% off your first order by using my code UNPLANNED. That's an additional 50% off when you head to smalls.com and use promo code UNPLANNED. Again, that's promo code UNPLANNED for an additional 50% off your first order plus free shipping at smalls.com. Household chores should be equally split between both partners.
Ooh, hot take. Hot take.
Okay, I have
It
my
depends
opinion.
on the situation.
I'm going to say agree. In the circumstances that both partners are home. I saw this online.
Ooh, yeah.
I saw this online today. Someone had commented and it had a lot of people like agreeing with it. Like if a man works and a woman stays home, that man should never do a dish. I disagree because then the woman is always working.
Yeah.
And
True.
the man gets time off.
True.
And so I think that if you're both home, so like say mom stays home with the kids, she's going to be doing more percentage
Yeah.
of household chores in the end because that's what she's doing during the day.
Yeah.
She's not going off to work. But as soon as dad comes home, it becomes 50-50.
You need to try to divide workload in a marriage equally. I think this is the really tricky part though, Abby. I was actually talking about this with somebody the other day. It's never going to be equal. Like in marriage,
Yeah, you're not supposed to keep score.
You cannot keep score. You're always going to feel like you are doing more than the other person. You're always going to feel that way. And so what I was talking about with this person is everyone needs to be giving 80%. Because if both partners are giving 80%, they're going to feel good. Like if both people are overcompensating, then everyone's going to be happy. If you're expecting to just give 50% and nothing more, then you're always going to be let down.
That's really good advice.
Marriage
I
is
agree.
never 50-50.
And you know, it fluctuates too.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Abby wears the pants in the relationship.
Sometimes. If she wants to that day, she will put them on.
You think I do?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, I wear the pants. It's okay to look through your spouse's phone without asking.
100% agree.
Yeah,
Strongly agree. I'm
I
gonna
read your
strongly
texts
agree with
all the
that.
time.
Yeah, I read.
Just because I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, same. I also read your texts all the time.
Do
so,
you?
No.
No, I shouldn't say all the time, but I do read your texts sometimes if I'm like, oh, I wonder if so-and-so's gotten back with him. Because if I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, ask so-and-so about this. And it's like something that has to do with like our plans. If it was something about their personal life, I would not.
You probably have a lot of trouble because I have like 100 missed messages.
Yeah,
right
I think that's the other reason why I look at your texts. I'm like, there might be something important in
now.
here.
Yeah, there probably is something important
I'm
in
trying
there.
to help
and
you
I
out.
probably need to get back to that.
Do you find yourself reading my texts?
No, I don't. Yeah.
You just said, oh, 100%.
I was joking.
Oh.
I was trying to be funny. I don't really read your messages. Sometimes
But do you
I'll-
think it's okay? If you wanted to read through my text, do you think
Oh,
that's
for
okay?
sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When you're married to somebody, like you're together. You're a team.
Yeah, I wouldn't
We're
think
on the
twice
same
if you were
team.
reading my text. I mean, I would think twice because you don't often do it, but I'd be like,
Yeah.
why? I wouldn't be like, what the heck are you doing? Like, I wouldn't. I mean,
That's my privacy. Get off my phone.
Yeah,
like
like, I
that doesn't
wouldn't-
exist in marriage.
No, that doesn't really
I could
exist in
maybe see
marriage.
that in dating too, but even with dating, it's like, what do you have to hide from your? Maybe you're talking to your parents about like, should I break up with them? Like, I don't know.
I think you shouldn't do that in dating, probably.
Yeah, probably not do that in dating. Yeah.
You've always wanted to live outside the United States.
Ooh, actually, for me, not really.
Same.
I wanted to live in California, and then I wanted to live in Hawaii. And I don't live in any of those places, but I never have wanted to
Well,
live.
that actually leads us to another question.
What?
You want to live in Arizona forever?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
I want to be by the beach, babe. I love beaches.
okay.
I love the beach.
I mean, I think, like we said before, we're only 26. I don't think I could confidently say that I want to live here forever. But I could also say that if someone told me, like, oh, I have a magic ball and you're staying in Arizona forever, I would be completely happy.
You actually said aloud, I want to die in our house.
Yeah, I did say that.
So I think you kind of are more of team Arizona forever.
That is true. I want to die in our house.
I don't.
When I'm
I don't want to
really
think
old.
about death right now. That's like hopefully a long way away.
When I'm really, really old. Okay, this is the last question of level 1.
Oh gosh. We're still on level 1?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is level 2.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
The guy should always pay on the date, even while married.
Ooh, when you're married, who the frick cares? It's all your money.
Yeah, that's kind of
Who really cares? You know, you gotta like at least. What did you say to me the other day?
What did I say?
You were like, at least take me. I wanted to do some unspeakable things.
Dude,
You said,
I will
at
tell
least
you
take me
this.
out to dinner
I've
first.
talked to other wives about this. The way that you just kind of have to get used to getting, like, groped. I'm not saying this in, like, an inappropriate, like, it's inappropriate. It actually bothers me. It's really, like, I feel like an object. No. But, like, when you're married, I feel like there's just so many things. I'm like, wow, I just can't believe that this is acceptable behavior in my life at this point. Like,
I remember dying laughing.
and I said, at least take me out to dinner first.
You're so clever.
I'm not the first person that's ever said that.
The phrases that you come up with.
That's not that clever.
No, but you don't even have to think about them. They just come so naturally to you.
I feel like I'm always cracking jokes and you just don't notice it.
I think I came to you and I was like, "Can we try this position?" And you're like, "At least take me out to dinner first." And it was so the reaction time was so spot on too. You just went right there. Like for me, I would have to spend an hour thinking of a creative way to respond, and I still wouldn't have anything funny to say.
Well, please let me know in the comments below if you've been married or if you've been together for like almost a decade. You just get used to this type of thing. Like, I honestly will tell you, every single time I take a shower in the middle of the day, I just know that I'm going to have an audience. Like, I just know. It's just going to be... Even sometimes when I go to the bathroom, I'm like, a little privacy at this point.
I go in the bathroom when you're going to the bathroom. That's not a thing.
You do. You'll come and talk to me.
I might have something important to talk to you about, but I'm not going to come
You're
in there to
coming
like
for a
watch
show?
you. Yeah, I'm not coming
Okay.
in for a bathroom
Okay.
show.
Fair.
That's weird.
Fair.
That's crossing a line.
Oh, wow. You with the boundaries.
We do not cross that line.
Okay. We're finally on level 3. Do you want to do it or you want me to do it?
Maybe we do halvesies on level 3.
Okay. This one seems really, really actually intense. Abby is more avoidant than Matt.
I don't know what the frick that means.
Google it. Like, what does that mean in a
Avoidant?
relationship?
Like you're an avoider?
Like you don't want to talk about things?
Yeah, I mean, maybe for me, I might be more of the avoider.
Yeah.
I
You're
think,
like, I just want to move on.
Yeah, because I don't really care about being right. I just want to with marriage, there's no winning. Like there's no winning or losing. It's just you win when the marriage.
When you both win.
And if you're trying to like win an argument, that's the wrong way to go about things.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I am more of the avoider when it comes to
Well,
stuff
it says
like that.
Abby is more avoidant than Matt. I would say no. I can't be avoidant and also the one that starts more arguments. I start more arguments, so I'm not avoidant. Okay. Cheating is unforgivable.
I actually heard the craziest story about this recently where someone cheated on their spouse, and then the spouse who was cheated on was so mad they welcomed their spouse back with open arms but had very strict rules and stipulations or they just made rules for, okay, if I'm going to accept you back, here's what we have to do. But the rules were weird.
Like
it
what?
involved like, something about them being able to be involved in an open relationship but not their spouse who cheated, and then their spouse having to like switch where she worked and go to a different workplace.
Was this someone you knew?
No, this was something I read on Reddit. it was so out there.
I don't believe the story.
It was so out there. It could have been completely made up, but it was just one of those things where I was like, man, like, I think you can forgive cheating, but at the same time, like, is it better just to end the relationship at that point? Because this person who was cheated on was clearly very hurt, but then they made some crazy rules that made it even more screwed up than the fact that their spouse even cheated on them. Like, it was like,
well, I think it's
dystopian
fair
type
if
of crap.
someone was cheating with a coworker I think it's fair to be like, if we're going to mend things, you need to find another job.
Yeah, like, cut off the friend that was supportive of this affair that like they knew about and they didn't tell me, and they, like, if you need to cut out relationships or cut out a job because of a cheating situation, that totally makes sense. I think you can have resolution after cheating, but I do think you do need to make rules. I think you need to make realistic expectations.
I'm grateful I've never had to like think deeply about this, but I do know that I've heard a lot of stories where there's been like infidelity in a marriage and they go on to have a beautiful marriage.
Totally.
Like, it's possible.
And the stats are staggering too. Like, there's a lot, there is just simply a lot of cheating that goes on in the world.
That blows my mind because I really don't know anyone personally that's ever...
Yeah.
Even in, like, my parents' generation, I don't know anyone.
And think about this too. Like, when people do bad things, they don't usually like wear that bad thing as a badge of honor.
Totally.
Usually when those things come out, it's by accident. it somehow got found out and it was never supposed to be found out anyway. So like, I wonder what the world would be like if every single person that you saw or walked by or saw on the street, you saw the worst thing they ever did, like written on their head. Like, what would that be like? Because I'm sure everybody has something that they don't want people to know about them, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And think about all the crime that goes unsolved too. Like, there's probably criminals that are among us that we see every day and we have no idea.
Yeah.
And they did something really bad one time, and then now they're just like, never doing that again. We would never know because they didn't get caught.
Wow. How often do you think about stuff like that?
There was some story where it begged that question of like, what if everyone had the worst thing they ever did written across their head?
Well, that's a very famous book. It's called The Scarlet Letter.
That's what, maybe you told me this. Maybe I learned this from you.
I think I did actually say that.
Yeah, give me knocks.
I teach you so many things.
Wait, maybe I should read The Scarlet Letter.
I'll read it too. I mean,
you want to read it with me?
It was for adult. It was this exact concept.
We should read the book together.
I think they did it to women, and I think they actually did stuff like this.
It actually happened?
Don't quote me.
The Scarlet Letter. Okay, I'm reading that book. That's on my book list.
Wait, what if we both read it?
Hey, mark my words. Once I finish the Harry Potter series, which I'm on Half-Blood Prince right now, it's a really good book. I think one more book after this one. I'm reading the Scarlet Letter, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah, let me look it up. Is it real? It's a fictional book, but it's based on real historical practices and events.
Wow.
Yeah, the Scarlet Letter A for idolatry draws inspiration from the strict moral laws and punishments enforced in colonial Massachusetts, according to...
No way.
Yeah. And I think, obviously, they were only marking women for adulteresses, not like...
That's
they were like
so screwed up.
I know. I'm not surprised.
The patriarchy is so effed up, dude.
It is.
What's up with that?
We should both read the Scarlet Letter. I don't think it's like a long book. I feel like people read it in like middle school.
Yeah.
I don't think it's unforgivable. But I also would never I would never look down on someone that's like, oh, I had to end that relationship or even divorce them because they were unfaithful. I wouldn't get that. But you also have to ask yourself, every situation, like we said, there's so much nuance. And like, are there children? How many times was it? Was it something they came to you about, or did you just find out about this? Like, there's so many layers to
100%.
every situation. And so, honestly, the older I get, the more that I'm just like, man, I don't think I can hold tight to as many things that I used to be like, oh yeah, I would never deal with that.
The world isn't black and white.
Social media is more harmful than beneficial for a relationship. Like for people doing things like this.
Interesting. No, I think it's just a general thing. I think you're thinking too deeply into it.
Oh, okay.
I think social media. I want to say it's a wash. Well.
It depends on how you use it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
What is social media TikTok, or is like YouTube included in there too? Because like I love putting on a podcast on YouTube, learning a lot of good information, and then that information helping me be a better person. If your social media term is just scrolling on TikTok and consuming brain rot all day, yeah, that is not good for your head. But if you're, looking at the occasional TikTok or Instagram reel, and then you're, consuming longer form content on, say, a platform like YouTube, I don't think that's going to hurt you.
You got to take accountability for your feed. Like, these algorithms are regurgitating to you based on what you fed it. So if they're regurgitating brain rot to you constantly, then you're clearly not using social media for beneficial reasons. And it's not something to like beat yourself up about, but it's something like, okay, I got to take accountability for this. Like, this is so addicting, I can't get off of it, blah, blah. It's like, well, what are you doing? Like, what?
Yeah. What's funny is my algorithm knows that I'm a creator, because she'll be like, if you're trying to grow your account this spring, do these 7 things. And I'm like, what? It's like, stop telling me, like, stop feeding me this creator content.
Yeah.
But it knows I'm a creator, so it's going to give me freaking creative content.
See, you got to take accountability for that. You fed something to it.
I did. It just knows me really well.
Yeah.
These algorithms are good, man.
So, do I think social media is more harmful than beneficial for a relationship? I think it can be. Like, if you're a guy, oh my gosh, where was I? Oh, we were at like a pool, and I saw a guy who I'm almost positive was there with a woman, and he's scrolling very publicly. Like, it was an indoor setting, so I could see it very clearly.
I think you told me about this guy.
It was all like
naked ladies, or they were wearing underwear.
Like, there were clearly creators that were making sexual, like, explicit content.
Honestly, gotta give it to him. He has no shame.
He had no shame, and I wasn't like trying to snoop at all. It was just the angle of where he was at was literally like also 5 feet from me, And I was just like, what in the... That is an example of social media is more harmful than beneficial for our relationship in that situation.
That's true.
Now, he might have been single, in which case I would say he could probably be using his time more effectively.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good for your brain, probably.
But you know what's crazy is when you're on social media, you're always being fed dreams. You're always being fed, like, for guys, they could see a woman, like, be fed all these, like extremely beautiful women, or, you know, maybe you're looking at people that are so much more successful than you at whatever the thing is that you want to be good at. And think about how damaging that can be for your brain, where it just, like, makes you think that your reality, your life isn't good enough. Mm-hmm. That must be so horrible for the human mind.
Yeah. I think I've felt that before.
Yeah, I felt that too.
And that, yeah, but I do think it can be used for good as well. For, like, I think about recipes. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
I need to put time limits on my phone again, because I really do. I compare myself to other people all the time. Like, you see people's highlight reels, and you just go to this comparison thing over and over again. It's not healthy. Mm-hmm. If you're going to compare yourself to anybody, compare yourself to yourself and try to be 1% better every day. But don't look at other people and say, oh, they're way ahead of me. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're doing this thing better than me. I mean, it's just, it can be very damaging.
Totally. So I would say, yeah, it's more common for social media to be harmful, but I don't think specifically in a relationship, just to, like, an individual. Matt, this is the final one.
Final question.
Matt,
drum roll tree. Okay, drum roll. Here we go. What do we got?
Matt wishes his parents lived closer.
You know, I really don't care that much.
Oh, wow.
I love them. I see them quite a bit.
I wish they did.
I'm going to see them in a couple weeks. I saw them a couple weeks ago. I FaceTime them every Sunday. I love them to death. It could be fun if they moved to be closer by us, but then that also puts even more pressure on me, 'cause if we ever go move to live by a beach one day, they're gonna kill me. They're gonna hunt me down and
ooh, I get that.
And be very upset that they moved and
I was
uprooted their
gonna
whole
say
life.
I wish that they were closer, just because. I mean, I understand. Obviously, they live their own life. They don't have to follow us everywhere. Yeah. But just because, sometimes I'm like, oh dang, I hate that. Like, our kids. You know, you want it to be fair between the grandparents, like the time with the grandkids. But our kids are still young. I feel like, you know, life changes a lot, and we love them. And honestly, it's really special getting to visit them and getting to do, like, you know, unique things, making real memories. It's like, okay, I don't do this every day. So, like, this is really stand up. And they talk about them all the time, Grandma and Papa. Yeah. And Josh, Uncle Josh.
Uncle Josh. I love that our kids talk now. Even Augie, he's only one and he's talking so much. So cute. I love that.
They're the best.
Everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you. If you've been listening to our podcast since the beginning, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so, so cool that we have this community, and this just wouldn't exist if it weren't for you guys. So we appreciate you guys being here.
Totally. Yeah. If you listen to our podcast every week, you probably know a lot about us. Yeah. And if you still want to listen and hear us talk, then we'd probably make good friends.
If you've listened to every episode, you probably know us better than some of our actual friends.
Not true.
Maybe
you need to go deeper with your friends then.
Maybe I do need to go deeper with my friends. Yeah, I do.
Sometimes I'm just, like, talking about some, like, deep stuff.
Yeah.
Or, like, just, like, stuff I'm like, okay, yeah, I would never talk about this online. And I'm just, like, at the park, and I forget that it's, like, a public setting. Yeah. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I go deep fast with people.
That's right. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. All right. Well, we'll see you in the next episode. And as always.
Bye.
Bye.